Yes, I think we are live now. Hi everyone, my name is Ingrid. Welcome to Tea Time. In the Netherlands, where I live, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but the time that it is now, it's tea time or coffee time. So there we go. Cool. Thank you very much for joining. Hi again, my name is Ingrid, and we're going to talk about traffic in this Tea Time show. It's season 1, episode 4. What are we going to talk about? Yesterday, if you look in my Facebook group, I sent you a couple of pictures. In case you're not in my Facebook group, feel free to contact me and I'll set you in right there. No problem. The pictures that I shared yesterday within my group, one of those pictures was the who, where, bait, and result picture. So what did we discuss the last couple of weeks? We discussed who were your dream customers and how do you define them. And last week we talked about where can you find them. And especially we talked about the Dream 100 strategy, which is where we're going to continue right now. In case you missed that, please take a look at previous videos. They're also in my Facebook group. Take a look at the previous videos and let me know what you think of it, of course. But also, we talked about the dream customer and the Dream 100, which are the influencers of your dream customer. Because if you want traffic towards your blogs, towards your product, towards your offers, you need traffic, right? You need those people, those eyeballs towards your whatever you have to offer. And one of the ways to get those eyeballs is via the Dream 100 route. Basically, you get to know your Dream 100 people very well, and then I'm just saying it roughly now, you get to know them very well, and then you ask them to promote it for you. But you don't do that straight away. You don't go for, okay, my dream customers are in this Facebook group. The leader of that Facebook group is this person. So I'll contact that person and I'm going to ask him or her to promote my product. That does not work. It really doesn't, because they don't know you. So they don't know the added value you can have towards their audience, right? Because they built their list and they built their audience very carefully. And all of a sudden you would jump in like that. They don't trust you like that. So they will not promote you if you do it that way. I'll show you a way which you can do it in a second. Another thing is you can also, make your product as perfect as possible, and then find the Dream 100 people, the influencers, to sell your product. Yes, you can do that, but it takes time. It takes time. Why? Because you need, someone said that, his name is Harvey McKay. He said you need to dig the well before you are thirsty. Meaning, if you have a Dream 100 that you want to target, build a relationship with them first so that they get to know you, so that they get to like you even, or even trust you to offer something towards their audience, because that's how they look at it. It's your dream customer also. You want that audience also, but they will be protective about it. So you need to build a relationship with the influencers first. Now, how do you do that? Because there is a 3-phase step for that. By the way, if you think, where does she have all that knowledge from? I'm following this book, Traffic Secrets of Russell Brunson. If you want, I'll talk about that later. He's a very marketing genius guy, and I like him very much. He talks really straightforward, I think. So his ideas are coming from that book, and I'm sharing them with you, right? Okay, so what's the 3-phase plan that you need to go through to get your Dream 100 person ready to promote your product? Phase number 1, it's called get to know them. And with them, I mean not the dream customer. You did all that work. That was episode 2 of this series. You did all the, you know what they think, what they believe, etc. You get to know your dream customer, get to know your influencer that you want to use. So how do you do that? This is going to freak you out. Number 1, you subscribe to everything that they are publishing on all platforms: emails, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever they are doing. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. Why? So you get to know them, because if they're doing it right, they will also share something personal they experienced, something personal. Maybe they have kids. From my daughter, Nora said this and this lately. Then, hey, she's got a daughter. That's cool. Oh, all of a sudden something happens on my screen. 1 second. There we go. So you get to know them personally. And you also discover what language patterns they speak, what words do they use. Because remember, you want to speak to that audience at one point. So if you're talking Chinese and the influencer and their dream dream customers are talking English, you got a slight problem there. So you need to that's exaggerated, of course, but you know what I mean, right? You need to find the right words and the language patterns that your influencer is using, so that if you use that too, they are more receptive to listen to you. So what does that mean? If you want to describe to their email newsletters, put them in a folder. You don't have to go through them, because it can quite spam you. You don't have to go through them. Put them in a folder for later use. That at the moment that when you are ready to talk to them, talk business, then you open that folder and you look which languages they speak to, what's recent, what are they offering, and stuff like that. Okay? YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, follow them. See what they are doing. See how they're talking. Number 2, so that was number 1, subscribe to everything they are doing. Number 2, buy some of their products. Become a happy customer. Now that sounds like, excuse my words, sucking up, right? And yeah, it is kind of that way, but it has also a very big advantage. You can see how their funnel is built up. Remember the McDonald's example that I gave last time? Would you like I would like some French fries and a chicken. Would you like sauce with that? Sauce is an upsell. The combination of what you originally wanted plus an upsell is called a funnel. In a very easily explained, because funnel could be very more difficult or it could be very simple. So if you buy one of their products, you also see how they are structured. What is their next product? You know what words they use, what works in that segment and what not. You also know what they are sending towards your future dream customers. So what hooks are they using? With hook I mean what headlines are they using? To grab the attention of their own audience. What offers are they giving? What beliefs does that audience have? So together from their newsletters and everything they are publishing, plus their offers, you get a picture of what is going on with their audience group, your dream customers. So, like I said, what headlines do they use? What do their audience believe? What are they believing themselves, the influencers? The personal part of it. And the third part of getting to know your influencers is serve them. It sounds easy, but if you buy something from them, talk about it on social media. Tell them what it meant to you. Tell your followers to get it and tag your dream customer. That's basically some sort of referral from, hey, that guy is a cool dude. You need to do. I bought this from him, like I do this, right? This guy is a cool dude. I bought this from him. You need to read this book if you want traffic in your business. You need to read this book. I would get it if I were you. That's a referral. That's a very strong referral, and they will notice. If you tag them, they will notice. What you can do to serve your dream 100 people is get them a gift, for instance, or get them something that is of value to them, but they can use, for instance, in their marketing, something like that. We talked about that the other time too. So that's phase number 1. It's a lot of effort from you, from your side, getting subscribed to everything, buy something from them, serving them. It's effort from your side, but it will build you a picture of who your Dream 100 influencer is. And that is something very powerful. That phase that I talked about will last for about 14 days. So you need to get to know them. So from day 1 to day 14, this is what you do. Then phase number 2 is you open a dialogue. Now it gets exciting. You open a dialogue. But what you should not do in that dialogue is copy paste something that you've read somewhere else and just tweak the words a little bit and send it. No, don't copy and paste. And also don't tell your story. Don't tell them why you are opening the dialogue, why you are talking to them. Not yet. But what you should do is be active in their Facebook group. Make comments on posts that they are making. If their followers, their audience, ask a question in their Facebook group, comment on it. Share your view. Let them see you, not your product, not the thing that you want them to sell or promote. No, you. Just your knowledge, you as a person. Share something personal. Sometimes it's even that you can post something of yourself, like we have in our group, for instance, we have Showtime on Monday, where I allow you is a big word, but where I invite you to share your links to your product or your website, right? So that's just a different way of revealing yourself towards someone else's audience. So if they have something like that also, that's cool, right? One other thing you can do, compliment them. Everyone wants to hear a compliment. So if they're doing a great job, if they have a fantastic post, you can, yes, I totally agree with that. That is well written. Great. Thank you very much. Be sincere about that, right? Don't lie. Another thing you can do is you have to know what's important to them. So talk about that. About kids, about I don't know, dog, something like that. Right? You remember? If you subscribe to their emails and stuff like that, it will be in there. So check it out. But still, even in this phase number 2, don't ask for anything. Not yet. But get them to notice you and open the dialogue. This phase number 2, lasts also could also last about 14 days. So it's day 15 to day 30. And then comes phase 3. And now we're reaching the moment where you're going to ask them to promote. But you're not going to do that right away. You're going to ask them for a one-on-one conversation first. Like, hey, you got a moment? I have something that I need to talk to you about. By now they know what your value to their group is, right? Because you're in their face constantly, they've noticed you. Like, okay, what does she want to talk about? And then the first talk that you have with your Dream 100 person is not about your product. No, it's about what they think is important. Their kids, their house, their dog, whatever. Start casually. I know introverts don't like that, but don't get in the face of someone directly. Invite them to just talk about the things that they matter. So it's not like small talk, it's real talk because it matters to them. And then at one point they will say, okay, what do you want to talk to me about? And that's the moment where you say, okay, listen, I have this product and I think it's going to be amazing for your audience. But before I ask you if I can share it with the audience, I would like to give you access to it. It's a course, so I'm going to give you free access, or it's a software program and I'm going to give you a free account, or it's a book and I'm going to give you a copy so that you can just go through it and tell me what you think, and tell your audience what you think. Be honest about it. If they like it, say it. If you like it, say it to the audience. If you don't like it, say it also. Right? In that way, they get to know your product first, so they know what they are promoting. And the audience can be maybe it's of value towards the audience, and they will know that on forehand. And that is a really important thing. Really important thing. Don't just shout something and ask them to pass it through when they don't have an idea what it is. Let them experience it first, and then ask them, listen, if you'd like, would you like to promote that towards your downline? Can we make an agreement on that? Okay, so that's the phase steps that you do. You identified that your dream customer, you identified your dream 100 influencers, and these 3 phases are the steps that you go through for promoting your product. The last phase, the way Russell described it in his book, lasts about 30 days to 60 days, so a total month. So that's why you see that don't wait until your product is ready before you before you build a relationship with your Dream 100, because it takes 60 days to build that relationship, right? Okay, so that was the Dream 100 strategy that we talked about for the past 3 weeks, and I hope it makes sense to you. There's one other thing that I want to cover with you, and that is if you talk to their audience, basically the goal is they have their audience, their pond. If you look at the picture, their pond with fish in that, your dream customers, their audience, and they allowed you access to their pond. So you're standing there, and basically what you want is you want those dream customers in your pond. Isn't that true? Because you want them to buy your product. So how do you do that? How do you communicate in a way that these people go from one pond to another? And that's a strategy called hook, story, offer. I know I'm going really fast, but you can always look it back when you're in the Facebook group. So what's hook, story, offer? Basically, if you look at the picture, so you know who your dream customer is, you know where they are, and you know you are next to the pond with your fishing rod. So now you need something to grab their attention, right? That's called a hook. Compare it with emails having subject lines, right? If that subject line is boring, then 7 ways to be more productive. No offense, but okay, I'll check that out when I'm ready. People will not open anymore those kind of emails because they are getting so much emails. So it's the subject line on an email, it's a post or an image you use on Facebook. It could be words, it could be backgrounds of a video, it could be goofy things, whatever there is to grab your attention. So we're going to do a little exercise, not right now, but you can do that afterwards. Is if you scroll through your Facebook timeline, what grabs your attention? Is it a particular image? Is it a particular color? Like, hey, this is a type of red and you like red, so you are drawn to that and you stop scrolling and you watch. Now, the moment you stop scrolling, ask yourself, what did it say that made you stop scrolling? Why did you stop? Why did you click, if you even clicked, right? How did it make you feel? If you have answers to those type of questions, then you know what makes you pay attention, what hooks they use are trigger you. And that's the thing with a hook. It triggers someone to, from all those messages that they have throughout the entire day, it triggers someone to stop scrolling and look at what you have to offer. And it's not just an advertisement. It's also a blog title, right? Like I said, 7 ways to lose more weight. Everyone could come up with that. That's not exactly a really hook that would stop me from scrolling, but something like the end is the beginning. Huh? What's that? Right? That brings up, I have no idea what it is. Makes me kind of curious, and I'll stop and I'll read. And that is what you want. A hook, the goal of a hook is to stop you from scrolling so that you have a few seconds to tell them something. So what did you tell them? That's the story part. You have only a few seconds. You got them to scroll. You got them to stop scrolling, look at you, so you have a few seconds to tell them something. Now, that depends on what kind of medium you're using. If you're using a blog, for instance, you tell what I call a story. And a story means, let me tell the goal of a story first. The goal of a story is to increase the value of an offer, or increase for the desire for something. Remember that I was talking about last week about a sports event, and all of a sudden there was an advertisement right through there, right? So interruption-based advertisement. And what they're doing is they're planting seeds that increases your desire. So story could be something like that. Could be one of your own stories, could be someone else's story, but literally a little story, like you tell stories to a child, but then in business. So it could be that it increases the value of what you are trying to offer, if you are offering something. It could also be to build a connection or a relationship with you, to get them to trust you, or think that you are the only unique qualified person they should listen to. And that goes in the list of know, like, trust. You've probably heard of that before. So what does that, it's building a connection. What does that look like? For instance, let me give an example. Someone who is trying to sell a weight loss product, right? From a manufacturer point of view, you could say, well, this is this weight loss product. It contains this and this bacteria, and that will help you lose weight. You want to buy it? Is that appealing? No, not to me it is. I'm not sure about you, but not to me. So what does work? I have my screensaver on. Very annoying. So what does work? For instance, there is a guy who was selling weight loss products, and he decided to, in 1 month, was it 1 month or 6 months, gain 6 months, gain 75 pounds, and then 6 months after that, lose the 75 pounds. So he knew exactly, he was basically going through the entire experience, right? He knew exactly how you feel when you're getting bigger and you have problems with your joints and with your walking. And he also knows what it feels and what the struggles are to lose weight. So he was more than enough capable to identify himself with a person trying to lose weight. And he was sharing that whole journey, that whole story of how we gained and how we lost the weight again and what happened in that period in between and how he felt about that and all the things that he bumped against and what he was doing to overcome that. So that increases the value of his product, his weight loss product, because that was his solution naturally. Um, but that increases the value of, oh my God, this does work because he did that. He really did that. You made a connection with him through that story. And that is the power of storytelling when you're trying to sell, but also when you're trying to blog, when you're trying to write value on a Facebook post, for instance. If you tell a little bit about yourself, about what it does to you and how it made you feel and how it changed your life, then the people who are reading it or the people who are listening to it or watching it, you will build a connection with. And that connection is very important because that means that if you do that, if you tell the right stories, they will more than likely to buy whatever it is that you have to offer. And that comes to the third part, the offer part. Don't think that an offer is just something that you can have, that you can sell and that others can buy. That's not what I mean with offer. You can also think of offer as something like this post, or comment on the video below, or subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll give you access to all the videos that I have about presenting. I don't know. Or join my list and I will send you my free ebook. Something like that. That's also an offer, right? Basically, what it is, it's also called a call to action. You're asking someone to do something. So if you're writing a post in Facebook, make a great hook that will make, if people see your post coming by, that they will stop, like, hey, what's this about? And then tell a story, and then whatever value you have, put that underneath that, right? But tell a little bit about yourself, why this is so valuable. Then tell whatever it is you want to teach. I'm talking about Facebook posts now, for instance. And then below it, like, hey, if you like this, would you mind clicking subscribe, right? So that the Facebook algorithm knows that I'm alive and that he will share it more with other people. I don't know exactly how Facebook works, but something like that. You will see that. Take a look around. Take a look around. That people not just sharing value, straight value, but also put a call to action to it. Now, be careful. When you're not fishing, I don't like that word. When you are writing posts in the group of your Dream 100, don't do a call to action. I mean that. Don't say, come join my Facebook group, because he will kick you out. Don't do that. Don't share links or anything. So if you're offering value, just keep it personal, what it meant to them, what it means to you, so that they connect to you personally, not your product, to you. So tell what doing this and this and this process meant to you, what it brought to you. Now, one more thing I want to say, if about this whole hook, story, offer phenomenon or what do you call it, framework. If your blog is not getting any comments, or if your ad is not converting, or your landing page is not converting, or if you're pitching and you're not closing, or if you're doing an upsell and it's not getting anywhere, it's not getting customers, or if you're sending out emails and it's not getting opened, there is very, very likely that there's something wrong in the hook, or there's something wrong in the story, or there's something wrong in the offer. So tweak those, change a different hook, use a better headline, use words that your Dream 100 person is using, right? In case of a story, tell a better story, find the story behind the offer, for instance, or why you earned or learned this solution towards the problem and towards your offer, right? Like I said, with the weight loss example, and when you are, how do you tell make better? Oh gosh, how do you make better offers? Is by saying, for instance, if I am a babysitter and I cost about $5 per hour, right? And I need to babysit for 4 hours. So babysitting alone will cost me €20. Now you can get more for that. You can even double the price for that. But what it means is then basically you need to make babysitting more attractive. Make it a better offer. How do you do that? Well, what else can you do? You can clean the house. You can make sure that the kids do their homework. You can bring snacks. You can do the dishes. You can, I don't know, read to them, make a collage, make photos, and send them to the parents. All those things. So all of a sudden you have a babysitter who's not just babysitting, but who does all those other things also. So if you are a parent and you're going away and you need to leave your child with someone, would you leave it with someone who's just babysitting, or would you leave it with someone who's all doing all those other things? Right now, if you put a price tag towards all those other things, and that's what they're called bonuses in an offer, you will see that very often. I've more than believe that you have in the past. If you put a price tag and you add up the value all of a sudden, then 4 hours of babysitting with the whole package it has a value of about, I don't know, €400, but he's only asking 40. So what do? Do you go for the babysitter who costs €20 for the 4 hours, but does only babysitting? Or do you go with the person who cleans your house, mows your lawns, and all those other things that he's doing for 40 hours, for $40? What do you do? Now, make sure that the bonuses, of course, are linked towards the prime offer, right? Don't offer something that's totally out of the scope. Keep it in that scope. So that's how you make an offer better. Oh gosh, there was something. Yes, I shared another picture with you. It was about storytelling. Let me share. Okay, this is about how to make a better story. I'm coming back to that, right? I gave an example of the weight loss guy who was doing the from fat to fit route. But if you look at that picture that's called hook story offer, and you look at the bottom, you see storylines in that picture. You can talk about loss and redemption. You lost something, you were very hurt, you were down, you were rock bottom, and with this and this, now you feel better. And you're teaching them what that this and this is, right? Could be a blog again, could be something that you sell. Doesn't matter. The storyline is the same. So loss versus redemption. You could tell stories about us versus them. I've seen that recently. If there's something in affiliate marketing, for instance, there are a lot of gurus who are ripping off their customers. They don't care about them. And there's another group of affiliate marketers called the ethical affiliate marketers who are doing things the right way, who nurture the group below them and support them growing their business and not just taking their money. Uh, the third story you can tell, the before and after. Weight loss does that a lot, right? Before I was like this and now I'm like this. I don't know. You could also tell stories about an amazing discovery that you did, or tell stories about something secret that something there's something about the word secret. Everyone wants to know secrets, right? That no one else knows, just you and me. So you could talk about secrets. There's a reason why this guy is writing book Traffic Secrets. Because it brings up curiosity. And you can also tell third person testimonials. So you show them that other people have used your product. You've seen that also, right? Other people used the offer that you are, the process, whatever you are trying to communicate. And they have used it and they are enthusiastic about it. So it's not just you telling, it's also other people telling. That's called social proof. So those are, if you want to make better stories, remember, if something is not working, it's either the hook, the story, or the offer. If you want to tell better stories, take a look at that picture below and change the story to the 6 options that I just described. Now, I know this is a lot. I understand that, right? So if you are in my Facebook group, feel free to check them out. Under the guides, there are all the Facebook lives that I did. Feel free to look and the replay of it. No problem. If you're not in my Facebook group, send me a direct message. Send me a direct message. That's an offer, right? I'm asking them to do a call of action. Send me a direct message and I will add you towards my group. If you, everything that I'm telling is coming out of this book so far. This is the first book that I started with. I'm going to tell a lot more about traffic. If you want a copy of this book, if you want to go faster than what I'm doing, or you feel more comfortable by reading it on your own, send me a direct message and I will give you an affiliate link to get it. All right? I'm totally just transparent about it. Yes, it's an affiliate link. But that doesn't cost you anything more and you're helping me. If you want the audio book of this, if you're not a reader but a listener, feel free to drop me a message also, and I'll help you further with that. All right. How are we doing in time? 38 minutes. It's the longest Facebook live that we had so far. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up right now. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. All right. Bye bye.